Now for this video we're going to be taking the GTX 480 and pairing it with an i7-3770 and 8 gigs of Corsair memory, and we're going to see how many games it can actually play in good detail in 2017. But before that, I want to tell you a little bit about the 480 and why it's actually my favourite card. So I actually have the original box of one that I bought off TradeMe a couple of years ago. I got it right here. I've owned about 4 480s, none of them brand new, all of them pre-owned, but there is a reason why I own 4 of them, and that's because they were actually really good cards, second hand. So I just want to a little bit at the back here. It's got powerful features, powered by NVIDIA GTX 480, 1536 megs of GDDR5 video memory, Microsoft DirectX 11 and GL support, exclusive innovations, voltage tweak 50% faster, extra apps bundled, NVIDIA SLI 3D vision ready. But no matter what they put on the box, there is a reason why I like the 480, and that's because it came out. Everybody knows that the 480 runs hot, loud, and consumes a lot of power. But I like that about it. You know, it came out in September. I want to say September 2010. Right when the 480 competed with the ATI 5000 series, I believe. So at the time when it came out, the GTX 480 was hot, loud, consumed a lot of power. It was late on launch, competed with the 5000 series, and it had already been out for like 10 months before this 480 came out. By the time the 480 came out, the ATI was about to release their 6000 series, which was going to compete with the 580. And to top it off, it was more expensive than the competition. But despite that, I think that's why it's a good used card, because it was only on the market for 10 months or so before all of these niggly little features got fixed with the 580. But the reason what I like about it is the reason why it ran so hot. You know, it had 40 nanometer process, 3 billion transistors on board, which was like the most powerful GPU in 2010. And the one thing that the NVIDIA engineers just couldn't get right was the heat output. It was too hot. And you know, they had all of these extra features to try and keep it cool. They had a fan cutout on the PCB so it could suck in air from both sides of the spinning fan. It had a vapor chamber underneath a full block of solid metal as the heatsink, and it had 5 heat pipes that came out and dispersed onto the heatsink. It didn't have any plastic shroud over the top of the heatsink. It was just, you know, exposed to the rest of the case. And all of these were an attempt to try and keep it cool, keep it quiet. And the reason why I like the 480 so much, and why I even care if it's actually still a good performer today, is I think it's still one of the best looking cards around. Like, I have a 1070 at the moment, and it looks nice, but nothing beats the heat pipes of the 480. You know how they go over the top there. I still think it's one of the best looking cards. And the reason why I've had them all pre-owned is obviously not a lot of people bought it, and it got discontinued after like 10 months or so with the 580, and I assume after that it probably got pretty cheap, because, you know, a $1,000 card back in 2010, you can jump on TradeMe now, which is like our version of eBay, and you can pick up these cards for like $30, like no kidding. People are wanting like $90 for their GeForce GT like 210s, and you can pick up a 480 for like $30, and they're just a great budget card. And yeah, they may consume more power, they may run hot and loud, but they're, you know, you can say, you know, give or take like 10%, it's still got the power of like a GTX 750 to 750 Ti. So we're gonna see if it can play games well in 2017. The only thing I'm concerned about is the 1.5 gigs of video memory. Could let it down a bit with some high resolution textures, but we're gonna find out. So did we get the answer we were looking for? Yeah, I think we did. Mind you, the only reason why I had to record my results in 1366 by 768 is because I use an early 4K monitor that has DisplayPort only, and so there was no way to interface the 480 with my everyday monitor, so I had to use my home theater television behind me, and that, when connected to the PC, only had the resolution of 1366 by 768. But these numbers are pretty linear. You can repeat them if you want to. If you want to find out results, if you would play in say 1080, for example, all you have to do is just put them in a calculator. You kind of double the kind of half the numbers, but not quite. But yeah, even if you were to run at 1080p, you would get 30 FPS average amongst all of these games, and if you were to turn it down to 720, it's more than reasonable for sure. So that's all for this video. I hope you learned something. Stay tuned for more.